Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste friends. Yet again this is a small video on what we call as in Phaladipika. There is in Adhyaya 4 in Phaladipika by Mantreshwara, translated by Pandita Bhushan V. Subramanya Shastri. You will have some slokas indicating what are called Chandra Kriya, Chandra Vela and Chandra Avastha. So this is when I read the slokas, find what portion of the asterism occupied by the moon has elapsed at birth. And that portion, if you divide by 60, mean there are multiple number of what they call Chandra Kriya, Chandra Vela and Chandra Avastha, and there are effects given to all these things. If you see, if the Chandra Kriya happens to be 1, you have a loss of position. If the Chandra Kriya happens to be 60, and there are essentially Chandra Kriyas are 60 in number, Chandra Avasthas are 12 in number, Chandra Vela are 36 in number. So this, suppose for your birth, it's not only used for birth, it can be also used for Muhurta, mainly for Muhurta Prashna, and also used for natal birth. So here I have taken some input for a person born on the 1st of January 1989. The user has to give just this, the time zone, the latitude, longitude of the birth and the time of birth. And then what I do here is get the fraction of the nakshatra. This person born on the 1/1/1989 at 12:05 in the midnight, he is born in Hasta Nakshatra. So we need to check in Hasta how far it has gone inside. To do that, what I do, I get the point when Hasta has just been entered by moon. So I evaluate a time. So to get that, I just click here. It has already done it. Sometimes when you don't, so it this is a manipulated variable. I'm basically putting in a goal seek here, so that the target of 160, this 160 target is for Hasta. So if you have any other nakshatra, it will automatically change that. So he is got in by manipulating the time variable. So we know at what time it moon entered, and basically the fraction of you can otherwise also get it. So I get it this way. The fraction of the nakshatra crossed by the moon, I get it here. And from here, suppose this is a fraction between 0 to 1. So we divide this 0 to 1 timeline by 60 equal parts, and that is and each part is associated with a number, and that number denotes the Chandra Kriya. If you divide it by 36 and each part number is called a Chandra Vela. If you divide by 12, it is a Chandra Avastha. So for your birth, you don't have to do anything. You just give your time of birth, date of birth, year, and then you will know what is your Chandra Kriya, what is your Chandra Vela and Chandra Avastha. This can also be got for Muhurta, when you put that particular date and time that you are interested in. So this would be useful for us to choose the right Muhurta, as also to check our natal chart whether what these say. There are some slight variations as I see between the Avastha descriptions that I see from some books. More or less I have stuck to I have typed in the Phaladipika by Mantreshwara and also copied some from the Google. So that's the way this is structured. Hopefully you can download this, and this requires, of course, this is a huge file in a sense, because it evaluates the moon's degrees and gets the stars and other numbers from this is previously made files for other purpose. So it's just adapted for this purpose. So it might be huge in size. But then you can make use of it this way. So what one has to do is, if this number is different, suppose I change the to some other date, then you would automatically see that this is still not calculating, because I have made the calculation options as a manual. So you can ask it to calculate. So the target is 120 here, but target is 133, but the time it has taken is 120. So we want, this is wrong, so we have to ask it to adjust. So that way it has just I think this is just entered nakshatra at that time. So it happened to be that way. So let us try some other date or month. So you put a different month here or date here, and you can ask it to calculate, because I have suppressed the calculation part. You can ask it to calculate once, and you would see the target is not met by the moon's entry degree. So we want these two to match, because the error is between these two values and the error has to become 0. So we click here. So what it does is it would change the elapsed time, the minutes back of your moon position when moon just entered that particular nakshatra, and now the error has become 0. So this will tell me the fraction of the nakshatra crossed, and from the nakshatra crossed I divide that into 60 equal parts of 36 and get these numbers. So normally you have to ensure that you are calculating properly, and once you are calculating, you also ensure that the error here is 0. If the error is not 0, click here, and what it would do is it will change the minutes before. Suppose I put a 1 year, now the error, and ask it to calculate, now the error would be there. Now there is an error. This is 226, this is 231, so there is an error between the moon's actual entry point into the nakshatra. The time is not proper, so you ask it to find out, so it goes back to make this error 0. So essentially it will get when moon entered the star, and therefore what fraction of the nakshatra moon has crossed at the time of birth. Once that is available, we know we can divide it to any number of parts and get these numbers, and accordingly we can get some predictions for Chandra Kriya. It should be Chandra Vela and Chandra Avastha. These things you can get. Yeah, I have placed this in the, as usual, downloadable link in the description, so you can make use of it and see if it makes sense, because Phaladipika does say good things about making use of these things. Thank you.